Hey guys, welcome back to Cheney's TCG store. Today I have another market watch for you. I'm sorry I've been away for about a week. I've been super busy, but hoping to jump in, get a video out. We did just get the full set list for the Mega 10s this year, which looks like it's going to be pretty good 10s. I'll talk more later about what I think about that set later in this video. But first off, we're going to talk about Mecha Fan and Beast. Dracosac, one of the viewers wanted to take a look at this card. So the first edition print from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy is starting off at 15. If you didn't know, this card was super expensive when it was released years ago, and has been down in price over the last few years. It's had a couple of buyouts for the first edition version up to like the 20s or 30s, maybe a little bit above that at times. But now it's back down to 15. This card's really good for pass formats, and I don't know that it'll ever see play again or anytime soon, but there are some level 7 decks potentially coming out, this year or later. And this might be a tech choice they might use. But if you know more about that, let me know. I'm not, too familiar with what the level 7 deck is trying to do, or what extra deck monsters are going to play. So I have no idea if this card is going to see play. But I do know as far as pass formats, very good, and collectible wise, also pretty good. 15 to me is not too bad at all. And then you can also get the reprints for $3 if you just wanted to have a nice version for like past formats. And then it also has a super rare and a rare. But for the prices, I would just get one of the secret rares if you really wanted one. Personally, I'm not going to invest into this card. But if you wanted to, I don't think it's a bad way to go. Next is Crossout Designator. So this is going to see a reprint as a prismatic secret rare, which caught me off guard because I was really hoping that they would not reprint this card yet, just because it was the only value we had left in the 2021 10s besides Triple Tactics Talent. So now really there's no reason to open the 2021 10s anymore because this card is going to be super affordable. I imagine the Prismatic Secret Rare will probably overtake this in value, although I'm not sure because personally I think the Ultra Rare looks better for this artwork. The Prismatic Secret Rare to me looks a little choppy for this particular card. So I'm going to hang on to my Ultra Rares, but I mean the Secret Rares look okay. These are going for around $11 now, which is shocking because at one point I was selling these for in the hundreds. So crazy fall down here. There is one copy here or two copies here for 10.89 before it's 15, but I would just wait because this is going to come down in price. It was having a tough time staying, or it was just staying under 30. It wasn't going above 30 for quite a while. It did have that one spike, early this year where it went up towards 55. But yeah, it's been below 30 for a while. Next is Pot of Prosperity. So I'm not sure if these sold out yet or not, but I did see, I believe it was Gamer's Choice had these for pre-sale for $30 for the reprints. But I haven't checked back today to see if they're still available. But I think from tier 0, they were pre-selling for 41, 40, somewhere between 40 and 45, which is quite a bit higher. So I imagine the $30 ones are probably gone. But I do think once this card comes out and settles, it'll probably be a $30 to $35 card. And I wouldn't be surprised if this card goes to 2 at some point, either this year or later this year. But the original prints at 70, this had gone down towards the 60s, but now it's back up. Personally, I'm waiting for the reprint, and then I will be grabbing the original secret rare just because I've looked at the reprint and I think I just like the regular secret rare better. But they both look really good, in my opinion. But if you're wanting to buy this card, I would just wait. Unless you go to Gamer's Choice and they still have the $30 ones available, go pick those up as fast as possible. Actually, when we get to the end of the video, if I can remember, we'll take a look at that. Actually, let's just do it right now. I don't know why I have Basil Rose shoot up. Anyways, I think I was just buying that the other day, so I don't know how this got in here. So that's okay if we're skipping this. The only reason I bought that is because I am putting together Dragon Link. Okay. So I'm sorry that we're having to go through this process, but I think that this is valuable information. Why is this only the 10? Okay, here we go. All right, sorry for that, but here we go. Yeah, they're sold out. They're now 35, so it looks like they started off at 30, increased them to 35, and now they're sold out. So be looking to see if they bring those back at the $35 level. I still think that's perfectly fair. I think that is where we'll settle out for this card. I would say between 35 and 40, but I think I would pay 35 at this point if I could find it. But since we don't have, I guess, the pre-sales up for TCG player yet, let's go ahead and take a look at what they have and where we can kind of expect prices to go. $4 for Goddess of the Closed World. This is why I said sell your original print for 35, which I did. Not worth holding on to, but here you go. And I think the Prismatic Secret Rare is probably going to look really good for this card. Lightning Storm at 20, that's fair. It'll probably go down a little bit though, probably between 15 and 18, but we'll see on that. Ash at $15, that's super fair. I'll actually probably come order mine because all of the other prints right now are like 20 or above on TCG players still. I ended up selling my ultra rare for 20. My last copy, I had been selling them slowly over the last year. I want to get these secret rares. I think they look really good. It's definitely not worth holding on to the, if you have a lower rarity than this, I wouldn't hold on to it. The only thing I would hold on to is the original print secret rares. Other than that, I would get rid of it and pick these up now or when they come out. There'll probably be a short period of time, I'm hoping, where they're like $12 to $10 to $12, but if that does happen, I don't think that's going to happen for long. I think that all of the copies will shoot back up and stay around the 20 to 22 range. That's just what I'm thinking at this point. Small World at $5, that's fair. I think that's kind of right around the price I would expect it to be. Designators at 10, I mean, that's around the same price as the ultra rare. But like I said, if you're going to pick them up, I would probably just get the original print. I don't think these Prismatic Secret Rares look very good for this card. Dragoon, $10, super fair. I was unfortunately not able to get rid of mine for 50 before this got, officially got announced, or, this came up for $10. So I'm probably going to be stuck with that because I think it's now worth like 20 or 30. But that's okay. You win some, you lose some. I tried to get rid of it. Dark Magician Girl at 15. I do think these will calm down towards like 10 maybe, but 15 is not bad either. I could see these going to be expensive in the future. So I definitely would say make sure you have a copy or two, but it's up to you. It's not going to like jump up in price crazy. I don't think right off the bat. That wouldn't be my expectation, but just keep an eye on it. Ghost Ogres at 5, really, really good. I think getting all the Ghost Girls from this set and Secret Rare is going to be just such an easy buy. Speaking of, I've been buying like Droll and Lockbird rares like crazy. I think I'm up to, these are some of the ones that just came in. I haven't put away yet, but I think I bought like 40 to 50 copies. Every time I see them jump to $2 or below, I just order as many as I can. Diviner the Herald at 13. I think that's going to go down. I just see Diviner more of like a $7 to $8 card, just because there's not really that many decks playing it. But I think a lot of people will want this. Like I still want this card just for down the line potential, but also just it would look cool in the binder. I do really like this card. Heavenly Prison at $4. Amazing. I would definitely be picking those up. I always wanted these. I just was never playing a deck that I actually needed them, so it wasn't worth picking up the secret rares for $20+. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion at 7. Really good as well. I do think that'll go down some from here, but we'll have to see. Phoenix Enforcer at $8. Definitely pick these up when they come out, especially if you can get them for like under $8, just because at some point Fusion Destiny probably will come back to 3. Even if it doesn't, I think there's enough hero players to support this card being more expensive than it is now. So just keep that in mind. Hero players are always going to want this card. This card is just ridiculous. Incredible Ecclesia, $5. I just sold my original print for 20. I knew this would happen. Ready Fusion at $3. Another good staple to just have in your binder. Like most of these secret rares are good pickups, except for like Kit. Like there's no reason to pick that up if you're not a Tribegate player. Blue Eyes and Red Eyes I think are good pickups, but it's up to you. You're gonna have to hold on to them for a while. Trouble Sunny is, I would probably pick this up as well, just because the potential with Ultimate Slayer is really good. Albion, you don't need to pick up like any of these cards unless you're playing branded. I would just stay away from them. But branded opening, secret rares at $4. I'm glad I sold. I ended up selling my ultra or my super rares. I think I sold 2 of them. I still have 1 left that I couldn't get rid of. I sold them for like 15 each. So I'm glad I went ahead and got rid of those. And when I get my 10 in, hopefully we'll pull, some of these, or I can just order them. Actually, would be fine as well. That's the key with like maintaining value, like I've talked about before, is even if you're playing a deck, like if you're okay waiting a couple of weeks, just go ahead and sell them when they're at a hyped value or high value. It doesn't even have to be hyped before like a reprint comes. And like megatins are usually really predictable with what they're going to reprint to about 99%. Drama, everything else is under $1 here, as expected. Definitely interesting. Also these sages are probably gonna be a good pickup as well. Just a generic, rank 4 toolbox here. Being able to get a free level 4 monster on the field. Really good for the ZS Utopia archetype. Moving on though, we're gonna talk about nightmares. Mostly like high rarity nightmares. But first is going to be Nightmare Unicorn Collector Rare at $70. I did used to own one of these. I ended up trading it for something that I really wanted. I can't remember what it was. But I think I got these for like 50 at the time and ended up trading it for around the 70, 75 value. But I do think that this card is good long term because it's always going to see play to a certain extent, depending on decks. It's not like one of those cards that sees play in every decks, but decks that like need outs to certain cards will play this, and link heavy decks will play this, and decks that don't really need much of an extra deck will always play the nightmare cards, just because like there's no easier like generic card to throw in your extra deck, like just in case you really need something. But I think even at a better price is Nightmare Phoenix at 54. I think that's like really low for this card. This card was also in the 70s at one point. But yeah, I didn't own the Phoenix at any time, but the Nightmare Unicorn I thought looked like so good. Like it has like this effect where it like circles kind of come out from the unicorn, and it kind of looks like an ultimate rare to me, honestly, like depending on like what the lighting is, of course, but I just really enjoyed that. And it just, the light hits the Genesis Impact collector's rares really well and kind of reflects it off. Just looks really cool. It's not something I've seen as much since then, even though I'd say like my favorite era of collector's rares began with Ancient Guardian, not with the actual cards, but the style and like the textures they introduced. But Genesis Impact, they were definitely getting closer to that point. Corruptor Ibley, we're going to skip. This card is really expensive because I don't really count that as a nightmare card for this extra deck. But the secret rares are around $11 to $12 here. I think these are still a good version to get if you don't want to spend the 70. I personally still have my secret rare, which I really like. I think they look super clean. Nightmare Griffin. This one actually came out of left field for me. So I've had this secret rare for probably 2 years now, and it's been sitting in my like penny stock binder because I used to play it in Altergeist, and I just like when I stopped playing Altergeist, I still have the deck, but when I stopped playing it, I just threw my extra deck stuff in my binder just in case I ever needed it. And when I bought this, it was $2, and I just sold it today, I think yesterday, for 16. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm never going to play this card again, most likely, but this is definitely the highest rarity printing. It does have like maybe a super rare, ultra rare, but yeah, if you have these, I would probably just sell them. Like unless there's something you specifically need it for. Like if you're not going to play this card, I don't think it's really going to go up from here. So I would consider getting rid of it. Or if you have a different opinion of why you should buy this or hold on to it, let me know. But I think it's a good sell, especially since it's so low on copies. Nightmare Corruptor Ibley ultra rares. Again, we're skipping. Nightmare Phoenix ultra rare. So I think this is a good printing to get. Like if you don't want to go for the collector rare, just having like nightmares in general. Like I just think that these are safe cards to have. Plus, you never know when you're going to need these. I always just keep all my nightmare cards, in my staples binder, and they do come up time to time where I'm having to use them. I'm sure everybody has those situations. Cerberus up to 450. I think this has gone up because when I bought mine, it was like $1 or $2. Again, I would just have the highest rarity nightmare cards you can get. And if you don't buy collector's rare, just buy the next up. Super rares at around 350 as well. And Gold Sark unicorns are $4 here, which is really not bad, but it's because that does have that rare printing, which is kind of holding it down. We'll see if there's any other ones other than like Nightmare Mermaid, of course. Alt art, I mean, it's a gold. I would stay away from it. I think it's kind of ugly alt art anyways. Goblin, is this the one that's banned? No, that's Mermaid. I don't know. I think Goblin's safe, but $1.60. I mean, why not? Just pick it up just in case. I don't know what this card does because I've never played it. It might be banned. I have no idea. Dollars for super rare Phoenixes. That's not bad at all. Let's see. Nightmare Mermaids. This is a good card just to pick up a few copies of and put in your your banned folder for like cards that potentially come off the ban list at some point. Don't think this is going to come off anytime soon, but 50 cents just in case. Might as well. I have one copy myself just in case. But that's it. You can get rares of these cards for pennies as well for you budget players. Next is Invocation. So I wanted to take a look at this because Invoked is like an archetype that just is always going to see play, at least for the foreseeable future to some extent. And a lot of times after a ban list, it kind of comes back up in the format because people are trying to figure out, what to do with their decks once they've been hit. Whereas like Invoked just never gets hit. So it's just always a safe deck to play at the beginning of a new format. You're usually going to do well with Invoke Shaddolls or Invoke Dogmatica at like locals. So yeah, I would just say it's a good idea to pick these up at this time just because everything is so cheap. The past of Invocation was always just like a $30 to $40 card for the longest time because every time they reprinted it, it was short printed until recently when we got the gold rare print. But the alternate rares at 90, like 85 to 90 here, not too bad at all. I do think the alternate rares look really, really good. And I do want to pick one up at some point, especially since they're like, usually they kind of hover around 120 to 130. So this to me seems like it's a little bit low. Secret Rare Invocation original print. I believe these are around $8, $9 now, which is just crazy to me. We're going to take a look though. Okay. $8.50 for lightly played and $8.50 for near mint. That is really low for this card. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the invocations, I would pick these up. This version is fine. One of the problems I have with the original print is they tend to taco. Although I've had a lot of cards from Fusion Enforcers that were secret rares that didn't taco, so it can go either way. Battles of Legend also fine to pick up. These are around $7.70. That's still a pretty good price. Super rares are like $3 to $4. I still have my super rares, and because they were $40 at the time, and now they're not. But I'm probably gonna come pick up some secret rares. I did pick up I think 4 or 5 copies of the gold rare just because they were under $1. So if you want a penny stock, you can probably get like a play set for $1 each. So yeah, something to just keep your eye on. Okay, next is going to be Foxy Tune for the collector rare. So this was up around 95 to 100 for a while, and it's cooled off recently. It's back down towards like 72 to 75. If you wanted to pick up this card and you've had your eye on it, you're just waiting on a good opportunity, I think this is a pretty decent price. However, like me, I kind of want to pick this card up, but I want to wait into the ban list to see what gets hit, because if we're getting like Chaos Ruler hit or Hulk hit, like it just makes this engine a lot less viable, and therefore it's going to make this card go down in price. I would like to buy this card regardless, but I don't want to overpay for it. So I'm going to wait for the ban list, which has to be any day now. Like I've been saying that for a while now, but it has to come at some point. But yeah, just something to keep your eye on. I think the ultra rare has gone down in price too. Like it was up around 35 and now it's around 22 to 24, which is a good thing. Okay, yeah. So next is Rainbow Neos Ghost Rare. So I just wanted to take a look at this because we are getting rainbow cards, but also because I have this card, I just wanted to see what the price is doing. When I did look at it, there's actually a big surprise for me, but I'll point it out when we get there. So I guess first important to note is the unlimited market price is 136, and the first edition is 400. But what was surprising to me, so first of all, the light play unlimited is 92, which is about what I paid for mine. I have an unlimited. It goes up to like around 95. Don't expect that to move much anytime soon. But what was surprising to me was the lightly played first editions at 130. With the market price for first edition being 400, that seems super low to me. And honestly, wish I would have waited to buy mine till now, because if I would have saw a lightly played for 130, I would have much rather have spent the extra money and got that. But let's see what the near mint is going for. So yeah, I mean, after that one sold, it jumps $10 and then almost $10 again. So if you wanted this, I think now is definitely the time to go ahead and pick it up. Looks like near mints are going to be probably quite a bit more. Near mints at 500, so still around that same price, I think. But 130 for a lightly played first edition, that's a really good deal. So something to keep your eye on if you're looking to pick up this card. Nibiru. So we are getting a reprint for ultra rare in the 10s for this, but we're going to look at the ultimate rare because this isn't going to be affected by price anyways. But I've just noticed it's down in price. I think around 3 months ago or so, well, we can look at it here. It was up towards like 170 to like 175, but now it's back down. There's some copies here for 140 for lightly played. And then you have one here for 145 for near mint. And for the most part, you can get them for under 150, which I think is a pretty fair price for this card if you wanted to get high rarity Nibirus. These do look really good. You do have that little misprint, where it's not really a misprint because it's on every copy, but you know what I mean, for the attack here. But I think it's kind of cool, to be honest with you, and I don't mind it at all. Next is Ultimate Slayer, which I noticed went back up in price. These had cooled down to around $38 per copy, and I haven't seen like what events went on this weekend to see like what people were playing quite yet. At some point today, I'll probably check that out. But these are back up to 50, which is not surprising. It's just a matter of time before this card is back towards the 55, 60 range. It just depends on play, but it could go back down to 40 as well. Like if play just drops off, this card's entirely dependent on whether it sees play or not. But I do think people will buy this no matter what, which will keep the price above the like $38, $40 range, just because it is good and there's potential. So if you're waiting for like a $20 copy, I just don't see that happening until we see a reprint. That's just how I'm thinking about this. But let me know what you know and what you think about this card. Whether if you think this card's good or it's going to see play. I'm still playing it in my side deck, depending on what deck I'm playing, and it has proven to be pretty good, just depending on what deck you're going up against. And last is Ash Blossoms, just comparing the $15 secret rare to what we currently have. Well, as far as like the pre-sales I showed you. So first, Dual Devastator around $18, which is obviously more than the 15. If I had these, I would sell them, and that's going to be the case for any of these copies except for the original print secret rare. But commons at 20, like that's ridiculous. Like we can have a secret rare for 15. These are still like $100 plus for the first editions, whether it's lightly played or near mint. Maximum gold. I mean, I'm not a gold rare fan. Maybe some people are, but I would just never hold on to a gold rare Ash Blossom. It's just the worst version you can have, other than a common. I would maybe rather have it than the common. Even that's debatable. Dual Power, I sold mine. My last copy I had left. These are still going for around 19 to 20. If you have these, just get rid of them, wait for the secret rare, or just go ahead and pre-order the secret rare for 15 and lock in your price and walk away with an easy $5 per copy and with a better looking version. Super rares still 19. I do think the super rares are pretty clean, but I think they're going to go down in price once we get that secret rare. And same with Legendary Collection Kaiba. Legendary Collection Kaiba will definitely hold better than everything else besides the secret rare, just because it is older at this point. But I still think it's going to go down in value. But that's everything I have for you today. What was it that I wanted to look over at the end? Oh yeah, the Megaton. So my overall opinion on the Megatons, I think they knocked it out of the park with the secret rares as far as what we got reprinted from the past year, as well as like putting imports in there, like the alternate art blue eyes and stuff is pretty cool. It like gives something to the collectors, but then also like all of these staples that competitive players need, which now are going to be affordable for like a high rarity version, which is really cool. Like your lightning storms, your droplets, and all of that. I think it's kind of like they just put like a dual devastator inside the tins, which I think is really cool of them to do. Obviously it's not guaranteed, like you still have to pull the cards, but I think it's going to give a lot of people access to cards that they would want to play, which I'm super happy about. And it's a very good opportunity for buying singles when those cards come out and start dropping in price. Picking up your small worlds, picking up your lightning storms, your droplets, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see what those cards do in value. As far as the ultra rares, it's pretty much a straight like whiff. They did good with the Dark Ruler. They did good with the what's that card called? The other hand trap from the 2019 Megatins, which is not coming to mind now, but it's the one that banishes everything that goes to the grave. And then they did well with the Nibiru as ultra rare as well. But besides like those cards, there's not like any other ultra rares that look like they'll have any sort of value whatsoever. So I don't know. That's not too good because usually the ultra rares hold quite a bit of value, like we've seen in past sets, just because you're getting 2 cards per case, and those are usually going to, you need those to have some value. You can't just rely on your 1 secret rare per pack. So not good, because it was definitely nice last year having like the talents, having the Zeus, having the Crossout designator in that ultra rare slot, the cards that are above $15, so that when you pull them, it's just adding to the estimated value pulled. So it's not very good that the ultra rares are bad, but I think the secret rares are pretty much going to hold this set. But the problem is, like, if you were wanting to open this set to not necessarily sell, but to like get a few copies of staple cards that you want, on average, you're going to have to open 3 cases to see a play set of every secret rare. So just keep that in mind. It might be better for you to just buy singles. I am still going to open my case. And I guess we can see from that opening kind of what you can expect to pull from a case. But in general, I think it's going to be about 1 secret rare per case, like as far like each secret rare in each case. But there could be short prints. I have heard that the like Blue Eyes stuff and the Dark Magician Girl stuff are short printed. So we'll have to see on that. And actually, I'm okay with those being short printed because that'll give them some value while also letting the staples be a higher percentage of the polls, which I would like. But that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.